My name is Jennifer Simons, and I am doing a career development plan for my educational philosophy. To answer that question, I would like to learn more about the politics of education. Politics isn't a very strong thing in me, but I think that if I learn more about the politics, then it will be a little bit easier for me to understand. In order for me to learn all of the politics of education, I plan to do research to all of the amendments that have been passed and all the amendments in the future so that I can learn a little bit more about the politics that I'm going to be infused in while I'm in the teaching profession. Well, anything that has to do with teaching in the sixth grade will be very educational for me. So, for me to want to read anything that has to do with sixth grade education or websites that may have some kind of information for me to know what a sixth grade classroom will be like and what will help me um, proceed further into my education career. After I transfer to Metro, I plan to hopefully learn a little bit more about the politics, which is what I want to learn about in the first place. And the history of education is very intriguing to me, so I would like to learn a little bit more about that when I go to Metro. The one thing that scares me at Metro, though, is the point that I may have to possibly quit my full-time job in order to finish my education, in order to be a full-time sixth grade teacher like I dreamed to be. Just like my educational philosophy, I plan to focus on the multiple intelligences of each child in my classroom. Because I will be teaching sixth grade, it will be a lot easier to possibly give them the multiple intelligence test to find out how they learn and what areas they learn better in order for me to teach them in the correct way. These first 3 years of being in a classroom, that will be what I will probably do, is have them take the test so that I know which intelligence to teach them at. During my first 5 years of teaching, most schools will provide a education course for us to take in order for us to learn more about the technology and stuff like that. I will also, if it is not provided by my school that I work at, I will promise to go to those classes and apply at those classes just so that I can be a little bit more ahead of what I would be if I didn't take the classes. I haven't really thought about the professional organizations. I don't know any off the top of my head that I would preferably like to join. I will look more into it and find something that stimulates what I would like to be involved in. To be honest, the only thing I had in mind was to be a teacher. I had no plans to become a principal or an assistant principal. My dream is to be with the children at all times and to be able to be an inspiration to certain students in the world, and hopefully they can see that a teacher is a good profession, that they might want to be a teacher also. My number one goal as an educator is to be sure that all of my children are learning what they need to be learning, including passing the CSAPs and all that kind of stuff. In order for me to measure my progress to these goals is because if my kids are passing the CSAPs, then my goal is actually being achieved by them passing the CSAPs, and that tells me that I'm being a good teacher. Well, the only other thing I could think of that I want to include in my professional development profile is that I hope that I can be the best teacher to all the children that I come in contact with. I know as a pre-kindergarten teacher right now, I know that I have been a huge impact on my 4-year-olds, and I hope that I can do that for 6th graders when I become a 6th grade teacher also.